Hello and welcome back to another Simpsons channel, and today we're going over Season 3. Season 3. The agreed on start of the Golden Age, a label I don't fully agree with, but I do think it has some merit. This is when, in my and many of the fans' opinions, The Simpsons really hit its stride. This isn't to say that Season 1 and 2 were all bad, as they do contain some episodes which are better than episodes in Season 3, but enough about fans defining Season 3. It's time for a fan to define Season 3. So, before we start, we must address the elephant in the room, that being Starkgrave and Dad. For purposes of clarity, I did watch this episode. However, it will not be mentioned beyond this point. I do plan on going over it in another video one day, but that's a bigger fish to fry. So, to give a brief overview, I personally was never a Michael Jackson fan myself, and this video and series is about The Simpsons, not Michael Jackson. So here are my thoughts. It's weird having the only permanently banned episode be due to one character and a man who voiced him. But I think a worldwide ban is overkill, and a warning in front of it would be more than nothing said. Now, back to lighter topics. As this is the Golden Age, the show has really tightened its belt. The animation is more consistent and more recognisable. As well as that, the timing got fine-tuned and all the jokes hit comedically perfectly. They really started to flesh out their wider cast as well that makes up Springfield, expanding them from just random side characters in the background to being more than just their catchphrases. So, with that, we're going on to my favourite episode, which is Homer at the Bat. If you want a good laugh, just put it on. The real Slim Jim said so himself, just a great episode to just watch and laugh at. Now, I'm personally not a huge baseball fan, but I love all the jokes. Homer actually being good with the bat, only for it to be destroyed when the professionals come along, is hilarious. With all the professionals coming along and then being picked off one by one in a series of unfortunate events is hilarious, and then Homer winning because he got hit in the head will always make a laugh out of me. And now for my least favourite episode would unfortunately be Radio Bart. Just feels like a filler episode. Bart tricks the whole town so often and it just feels small and boring. This feels like a weaker version of the Telltale Head, where that episode does something similar that makes the whole town come together only to reveal it was Bart, and they end up hating him until he turns around back on them. I like that the sting was in this, but it doesn't make the episode unfortunately any better. So the Stonecutters this season are When Flanders Fails. This is the Flanders episode. It is what made him left-handed. If you watch any episode before this point, you'll actually see Flanders being right-handed, but every episode from this point forward, he is left-handed. It also shows him with his store, the Left-Handed Emporium. As well, that is actually a key point that's seen many times in the future, while unfortunately it does get smaller and smaller because the needs of the left-handed are often overlooked in society. Next episode would be Like Father, Like Clown. This episode delves deep into Krusty and his childhood. It shows off his father, who becomes a semi-reoccurring character going forward, and it finally shows him getting his father's approval, which is something that is needed for him. Up next is I Married Marge. This is an absolutely adorable episode. I love every episode flashback of Homer and Marge just before they get married and before Bart is born. There's always a sweet innocence or niceness to them that is just not captured anywhere else in the series, and it's always nice to see. This is a fantastic flashback, showing that Homer will do absolutely anything to make Marge happy, and it just shows his deep love for her and how much he wants to provide for her and be a good person to her. And finally, Black Widower. This, in my opinion, is the third best Sideshow Bob episode. The second one being the first one which he introduced, Krusty Gets Busted. This is absolutely another perfect performance by Kelsey Grammer, and shows off yet again Bart's smarts of figuring out what Bob's plan is and how Bob planned it out. It's a great way to bring Bob back because he doesn't directly go for Bart straight away, but instead he goes for Selma, who turns out to be very wealthy. I also choose to believe that Homer understood how Bob was planning on killing Selma, but he played dumb because of how much he hates Selma. So, with that, I'd like you to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you all very much for watching. Up next is Season 4, a personal favourite of mine. What's your favourite season? Drop it in a comment below. I'll be sure to read them all. And smell you later.